I just helped this player, and this player completely transform their offense in College Football 26 by simply implementing one of the top 3 offensive playbooks of their game. Whether you're tired of getting locked up every drive or finally want to start consistently scoring against the best player in your dynasty, this is going to be the perfect video for you because I guarantee you one of these playbooks will fit your play style, so don't skip out on any of them. Let's jump right into it. The first playbook I want to show you today is the best bomb offense here in CFB 26 from Oregon State. Let me break it down. Alright, so our first play here is going to be motion PA cross switch from Y off trio close. Alright, and so this is obviously a bomb, right? And so it's really great against cover 3, which is exactly what they're going to be in. Now, you see how they're blitzing right here, or if you notice that they were blitzing if you were in the game, that's really where this drag route and the running back treat comes into play, because you're going to see how right here, I'm going to try to get time to throw, but obviously if they're blitzing you, you're probably not going to have time to throw in the pocket. So again, that's why you have the drag route on the field. You hit it, right? You try to hit the bomb over the top, but simply like right here, I mean, if they just blitz you, right, then you have to get rid of the ball, on time. So boom, we're gonna go through right here. We see our line gives us some more time to throw, and you're really trying to set up that bomb over the top to RB. Let me show you. So you're trying to always step up as much as possible in the pocket, because that route's going to bend it. He's going to bend that route off over the top and then get behind that DB. Also having pass lead increase on small is going to help you get those balls out in front of those receivers and over the top. But you notice how I take this drop back and then I'm flicking the left stick all the way up to go all the way up to the line of scrimmage basically. And here's what makes this route super unique. Well, he's going to run over the top, but then he's going to bend the route off and get behind this guy, for an easy score. Obviously, like I said, if you're playing against a pass rush or they're shedding you, this running back shriek out of the backfield is also really good. But when you're playing against cover 3 and you have time to throw, that fade over the top is going to be really good for you. Now, here's the thing. I call that play. I'm not really reading the defense necessarily. If they give you an obvious single high look, then yeah, you hit it over the top. But also, it's like this can work against cover 2. Because like I said, you're going to have to step up in the pocket, and then you're going to find your running back right there in that seam area. You can throw it early, you can throw it late, and it will still probably be open as long as it runs over the top of their hook zones. If they have really shallow flats, like if this guy was further down, you would probably be able to hit this crosser here on the sideline. But bottom line, this play from Y off trio close, one of the best in the game as far as taking the top off, because it's really unique. But let me show you another great one-play touchdown here from this Oregon State playbook, which is going to be motion bench double post. All right, and another one where it's like if they give you a single high look, an obvious cover 3 look, then you just obviously know that you're going to have it open. But even if they don't, like this is too high, but it can still be cover 3, which it is. So the safety's going to come down, and as long as you have time to throw, you're going to have that post route over the top. Obviously, Oregon State, not exactly the greatest offensive line that I'm working with here, but when you're playing against a cover 3 defense, you're trying to buy time in the pocket, whether it's stepping up, moving a little bit, but always be ready to hit your drag if you get shedded. Like right here, I see I have plenty of room to step up, and that's exactly what I'm able to do, and then just make that guy miss for the score. The reason why is the deep post is going to basically, it's a very unique route, able to, again, bend the route off and then get behind the inside third, but the shriek is really the key component that makes this go. The shriek runs off this inside third, and then the deep post is going to run over the top just for an easy score, pass lead away, and then walk into the end zone untouched. So that's really what it comes down to here with this play. But then again, obviously this is a great bomb offense, but even if they show you like this is a cover 0 look, I would assume, right, they're going to be in man coverage, still looking to throw your corner out there on the sideline. You can also hit your own, and that's just great speed boosting right there, but you can also hit your drag underneath. So, and then against cover 2, which I'll show you next, it's still going to be wide open in the middle. So it's like, even if they don't run, that cover 3 defense, you still have options, which kind of makes this play an everything beater. If you've seen some of my Oregon State offensive game plays, you've noticed that, I call this play anywhere in the field. Like, it really doesn't matter to me what coverage they're in, nothing like that. So what you also are going to know is that a lot of people, they like to take that mid-read defender off the field for whatever reason, because they want to user him. So if that happens right here, you're just going to notice how we're going to take the snap, and then we're going to have that post in the middle, wide open. The corner route pulls the deep half further out towards the sideline, and so then we're able to, have an easy completion right there down the middle. So Oregon State offense, super bomb heavy, but also both of those plays can beat really any defense in the game, so you don't have to really panic when they don't give you an obvious cover 2 or cover 3 look. All right, so if you found that breakdown of the Oregon State offense helpful here in CFB 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down CFB 26 tips and tricks, give you guys free ebooks every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want my full Oregon State offensive ebook, which those bombs are really just the start of the scheme, go to the link down below in the pinned comment. You can grab it today by using code YouTube to get 20% off. Goes to the full videos, screenshots, write-ups, everything you're going to need to dominate an offense here from this Oregon State playbook. So what do you think? You can check it out today, and let's jump right back into the video. Because the next playbook I want to break down is the most methodical offense in the game. Super easy to master and pick up on. Let me introduce you to the UCLA playbook. Alright, so here from the UCLA playbook, we're going to come into what really makes this playbook good is gun bunch. All right, this is probably the best gun bunch in the game, because we're going to start with our first play here, which is going to be bunch trail. All right, you want to always make sure you call this with your bunch on the wide side of the field, or very rarely do you want to have your bunch on the short side. So what you're going to do here with bunch trail, put your X receiver on a post, put RB on a drag, put your B receiver on a fade or a shriek, and then you're going to block your running back. Now, here's the thing, because this play is going to be really good regardless, even if you don't do this adjustment I'm about to show you, because we're going to take this snap, and you're still going to notice how that post creates separation, and we're able to pick up a big gain, right? Whether that's man or it's zone. But the way you're going to make this even better here is you're going to set up the same way. So post X, drag RB, shriek the B receiver, block the running back, but now you're going to stem the post all the way down. So it's basically going to run like this. The reason why this is so good, this is good from basically every bunch formation in the game, but what makes it great is this post is going to break basically at 2 yards down the field, and it's going to allow him to get to the sideline a whole lot faster. You just notice how, he still creates separation, but he did it a whole lot faster, and that's what allowed me to, speed boost right there on the sideline and pick up more yards than on the first example. All right, we look at this. So they've been in man coverage the last 2 plays. They'll be in zone here in a second. But what you're noticing is, boom, he makes his cut 2 yards into the route instead of having to run up the field normally like a deep post would. And so that allows him to get this speed boost. You're able to see the speed boost a little bit better, in real time. Like, this is the replay, so it's a little bit slower. But like, if you rewind the video, he got that super good speed boost, created the separation, and then I didn't even have to freeform that pass, which if you don't have to freeform something in this game, that really just means it's wide open. So, you have that pass right there to your post. Right here, they're going to be in zone. You can step in the pocket, hit your drag underneath if you just feel the pressure, feel like you don't have time to wait on your post down the field. But then also don't sleep on this tight end trail route, because the reality is they might call like a cover 2 hard flat, where they're going to shade their coverage down, take away, the drag, and then that might open up room for your trail. Now right here, when they run cover 2 hard flat, right, they're also taking away your trail route. So you're just able to see how good that post is when you can speed boost around the field, and you can create separation down the field, get away from those defenders. But like, if they shade their coverage up, right, they have their hooks maybe set to 10 yards, and now you can hit this trail route in the middle. Right, boom, that's a really easy completion, and you can honestly hike throw that. That was something I did a lot earlier in the year when I ran this UCLA offense, is I would just hike throw those trail routes. So boom, I would just take snap and then hike throw it. Right, now that was a really bad animation, but really this play, bunch trail, it all starts with the stem down post. He's going to be really hard to defend from every single coverage in the game. You're just going to notice how you step up in the pocket, and then you're going to have that short post wide open right there on the sideline, make some guys miss after the catch. So really, that's the heart of the scheme. But also, if you come into gun bunch and you're calling bunch verticals, this is perhaps the best quick snap play here in this playbook, because all you have to do, put your running back on an angle route, and now you just have a really great, play that has the ability to beat every defense in the game that you could play against, really with only one hot route. Again, quick snapping the ball is a super underrated strategy. You can look to that tight end wheel route. You can look to the running back angle route in the middle of the field. But I feel like not enough people they underuse the value of just snapping the ball immediately. right? Now you're able to see, I mean, I tried to get that open, but it's like, we're going to take the snap again. Also understand that if they don't have hard flats on the field, you can immediately throw that pass out there to that wheel route. Just be a little bit careful when you're on the wide side of the field like this, because he could bait you. But you just see how right here they leave the middle of the field wide open for an easy completion. So this play is really going to attack their user defender. It's going to be really hard for them to user correctly against this bunch of verticals play, because it's high-low. You go high to the crosser if they come down, and if they, you know, go high with the crosser with their user, then you just check it down to your running back angle route out of the backfield. Very, very easy. Then you make guys miss after the catch. So bottom line here with this play and this entire playbook here, UCLA utilizing the stuff from gun bunch to quick snap to, you know, beat zone to beat man really easily, and it's just really simple because it's all from the same formation and playbook. All right, before I jump into that final playbook that you're absolutely not going to want to miss here in CFB 26, I wanted to remind you to go down below, hit that subscribe button. I'm the only one right now breaking down college football 26 tips and tricks for you guys every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But let's jump into that final playbook, which is going to be the easiest offense to master here in CFB 26. It's super methodical, and literally your grandmother can pick it up and start running it at a high level. Let me introduce you to the Georgia offense. Alright, so first we're going to break down this play. It's also called verticals here. This is from gun cluster halfback strong in the Georgia playbook. This one's a little bit different than the last one I showed you because the running back's on the same side as, you know, your receivers here. So you're essentially putting 4 strong, and then you're canceling match coverage, right? So the setup here that I would use is putting my tight end on a drag and putting my running back on a shriek. The reason why is because this running back shriek is really going to be so annoying to defend. Like, I'm not kidding. I hate playing against people who do this, and that's why I'm telling you guys to do it, because what happens is you're just attacking zone logic if they're in zone coverage, right? This wheel route essentially pushes this flat zone outside. It acts like a flat, and then that's what allows for this man right here to just come in right behind him for an easy completion. If you didn't have a flat route, this wouldn't be as open, or maybe it wouldn't be open at all to your running back. So really looking to the running back here, using the 1-2-3 read progression. The first read is the running back, then the drag to the tight end, and then the crosser to the slot receiver. So right here they're going to be in man again, and again we have it wide open if Gunner wasn't 5'2", and got that pass batted down. But we take the snap again right here. Again, you're just going to notice how it really doesn't matter the zone coverage that they run. That running back seam route is going to be open, but here's the reality. You have a crosser and a drag to pair with it. So it's not even like their user can chase over the middle or chase the seam to guard the running back, because what would that leave open? It would just leave our crossing route, like right there, wide open in the middle, and then pursuit angles are pretty bad in this game, and so you're able to score a touchdown. So essentially, if there's a user defender on the field, or if they're not using the defensive line, you're just reading their user, going through the read progression, stepping up in the pocket. If they chase the running back seam pass, you're going to the crosser, and if they don't take it away and they are in zone coverage, then you're just going to hit it, right? Also understand that, like, if they run man, your crosser could get open, but it could be guarded, right? Your running back seam, that's not a man-beating route, so you're really relying on that tight end drag in that crosser to be able to create separation against man. But you're seeing it here a whole bunch of times right here. Again, they're going to blitz you right up the seam. So I noticed that they were blitzing in that seam area off the edge with their slot corner. So then I just have a man running right in that area where that slot corner left for an easy completion. So honestly, kind of like an everything beater here. This is a play that you're going to be able to use to attack every single defense in the game. Man, zone, cover 2, cover 3, using the read progression, looking to your running back up the seam, then your drag, and then your crosser. But let me show you another great play here from this Georgia offense, which is still going to be here from gun cluster halfback strong, but this time we're going to be in post dig. All right, we're going to put RB on a shriek, and we're going to put our tight end on drag, and then it's optional if you want. You can put your running back on a flat route. All right, so we're going to take this snap right here, and you're just going to notice, be patient with it, and you just see how that zig route is going to do a great job of creating separation in that area of the field and turning that into an easy gain. So we go ahead, put him on a table route route again. We put a drag route, and this time you're able to see how that drag route, whether they're in man, whether they're in zone, they're in match, it really doesn't matter. Drag routes are always really reliable, which is why when I teach this 1, 2, 3 read progression, I always say to make sure you're hitting your checkdowns first. So we're going to go with it just like this again, where we're going to have our drag as our first read, then probably our table route to Frazier, our zig route to Bell, and then our backside post to Branch. Now, this is another example of the same thing I told you earlier in the video from the UCLA playbook, where you can stem this post all the way down if you want to. And so he's going to be playing against man, and that's going to allow him to create more separation versus if he ran deeper up the field, he probably would have been guarded by a deep zone in that case. So that's an option for you. Again, you want to quick snap the ball as fast as possible typically, so just be aware that that would slow you down a little bit, but right here, no problem. Again, our zig route does a great job of cooking, and so then we're able to throw that pass. So again, going through the read progression, we're playing against a bunch of random defenses here, and yet you're just able to see how easy it is to find guys open. When you're calling everything beaters like this, the whole goal is to never take a sack. You know, they run man, you hit your drag, you hit your zig, you hit your post. They run zone, you hit your zig, flat post. It really doesn't matter. It's all about going through the read progression, stepping up in the pocket, and you're going to have someone wide open for both of those plays here in the Georgia playbook. Alright, so if you found that breakdown of the top 3 offensive playbooks helpful here in CFB 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down college football 26 tips and tricks to help you guys get better, give you guys free ebooks like this every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want my full Georgia or Oregon State offensive ebooks, go to the link down below in the pinned comment. You can grab them today by using code YouTube to get 20% off. They both go through the full videos, screenshots, write-ups, everything you're going to need to dominate on offense here from either of those playbooks. Highly recommend you check it out. And if you want to see a gameplay of me running that Oregon State offense, check out this video right here. I'll see you over there. Peace.